Hello students, welcome to Computer Applications for class 9. In this video, I am going to start your chapter number 2, Elementary Concept of Objects and Classes. In the previous chapter, we have studied different topics like what is programming, what is the need of programming, what are the different approaches for programming. So we can use different approaches like procedural programming, in which we have to solve the programming problem by dividing it into small segments and programming each segment one by one. It means we are following certain procedure for solving the problem. In the second approach, we have seen object oriented programming. So in this approach, we try to follow a real world like thing, like we consider our whole program as class and set of different objects. So in this chapter 2, we have to study these things, objects and classes, in more details. So in class 9, we have to study all about Java and its various features. So you must have knowledge about these two topics, objects and classes, before starting the Java programming. So here in this video, we shall cover three topics: objects and classes, creating class and objects, and the last one, implementation of class and objects using a program. So let us start the first topic, objects and classes. So by the definition, you can see a class is a template for creating objects to define characteristics, a state, and behaviors of an object. So, in other words, we can say a class is like a blueprint for creating objects. It means if we have to create objects in a program, then first we have to create a class, and in that class we have to mention the characteristic and behaviors of objects. So for example, uh, if we take a player as an object, so that player or the player object of course have certain characteristics and its behavior. So if you talk about characteristics, means properties, so you can take the name of the player, height of the player, weight of the player, and the sport he or she plays. And if you talk about the behavior, then behavior you can take practice, play. And now if you consider a student as an object, so you can take name of the student, class, roll number, address. So all these things as the properties or attributes or characteristic of the student, while the performance of student will be the behavior of the student. So all these things means characteristics and behavior we have to mention inside the class. Then we can declare or we can derive object from that class. Now what are the objects? So an object is instance of a class, means as we first have to create a class, then we can create instance of that class, and that instance is called the object. So a, a class actually determines the functionality of its objects. So we need these two things together in a program while writing in Java programming languages. Now, objects are categorized into two ways. The first one we can say real world objects, and the second one is software objects. So real world objects we can take it as a physical object or an abstract object. So physical object like a book, notebook, pen, pencil, your mobile, computer. So these are your physical objects, while abstract object means the object that you cannot see or touch it, you can only feel, like uh, if you consider a bank account as an object, so that bank account is your actually abstract object, because you can also mention the characteristics of the bank account and the behavior of the bank account, so just like the physical object. So these are your actually real world objects. Now move to the software object. So software objects are actually that abstract, or you can say combination of a physical object. Means first we try to find out or figure out the object which we can derive from a class, and then we have to mention the characteristics and properties of that object inside the class. So these are your two different types of objects. So here you can see a message passing. So message passing is actually a practical based implementation while we create the behavior or method during the program writing. So we shall see about this in more detail in our later section. So now come to the practical approach, means how we can create a class, and what are the things we have to mention inside the syntax declaration. So while we create a class, so we have to follow this syntax. So the first line you can see, the first thing you have to mention is access mode. So access mode means here one of the feature, you if you remember in object oriented programming, is that data hiding. Means we can create a class and we can specify its access mode, so that the class will be available to every method or to every other class in the program or not. Means in access mode we can mention a public class or a private class. So if we mention a class as public, it means it will be available to the whole program, and if you mention it as a private, then it will remain private. Means whatever the data or the thing you mention inside it, it will be remain hidden from the outside world. So after this you have to write a keyword, that keyword is class actually, and then after putting a space you have to mention the name of the class, and here is the block of the class. So here you can see a curly open bracket and here curly close bracket. Means whatever the things we mention inside this will be a part of this class. So inside this we have to mention, or we can mention, data member. So data member is actually the characteristic of the object, and we can mention methods. So methods here represent actually the behavior of the object. So we can mention these two things inside the class, and then we can create object of this class. Now, how to create an object of a class? So while creating any object, we have to put these things, means declaration, instantiation, and initialization. So if you consider the syntax, then you can see first you have to mention the name of the class, means the class from which you are going to derive that object, and then name of the object, means the name you have decided or programmer has to decide. So this is a user defined name uh, given by the user actually. So first you have to mention the class name, then object name, then equals to operator, and then new operator, and in the last again you have to mention this class name followed by the parenthesis and the last semicolon. So for example, if you have an employee class, then you can create manager object from this employee class. Like first you have to mention the name of the class as employee, then manager is the name of the object, then equals to, then new, and then again employee means the name of the class, and this parenthesis, and in the last semicolon. So here you have to follow uh, this syntax. So here in this syntax there is declaration. So declaration means here we have to declare the name of the object, means employee, and the name of the object is manager, means uh, manager is an object of this employee class. And then there is instantiation, means you have to allocate a space, means whenever you create an object of a class, so actually that object will store certain data in it. So you have to allocate a space in your random access memory actually. So there is need of instantiation, and this instantiation is done by this new operator. So actually here new operator allocates the space required by this manager object to store its data. Data means its characteristics and behaviors. And in the last is initialization. So initialization is actually part of a constructor. So you will learn this constructor in your later chapters. So here you can see this parenthesis is blank, means we are not putting any arguments here. Arguments means whatever the value or data that we write inside this parenthesis, means a small bracket, that is called this initialization. So there is no initialization occurring here, means we are not passing any value to this manager object. So I think you will find some difficulty while understanding all these things. So don't worry about this. We will see this these things in more details while we do a program based on this. Now here you can see an example. Uh, I have created a class named employee. So it is actually following the same syntax for creating the class. Means this public here is the access mode, means it is saying that this class employee is publicly available to any part of this program. And then name of the class is employee, and this one is the block of this class, means inside this anything present will be the part of this employee class. So for employee, what are the characteristics taken here? So you can see emp name, means the name of the employee, address, CUST ID means customer ID, then salary, then designation. And then here you can see input data and show data. These are the two methods, means these are the two behaviors for this class employee. So here you can see these things like string, int, float. Okay, so these are actually data types. So we have to declare these characteristics as per the data it is going to store. Means employee name. So we will provide certain value for employee name. So that value will be type string. Means a group of characters. So we have to take this string data type. And again you can see here customer id. So customer id means any number value you have to take. Then int means here integer. So integer type value is going to be stored inside this customer id. So the data type here is int. And this one is float. So float means it is also going to store a number value, but this float type data type supports actually uh, number value with decimal. So we will consider all these things in more details in our chapter 3, means about data types. Now here in the last you can see there is one object manager created of type employee, means class type employee. And this here new is instantiation. And again here you can see employee is the name of the class. So here in this way we have to follow how while creating any class or any object. So here you can see the explanation for the new keyword. So new keyword is again you we have to use for allocating a space. And attributes are actually the characteristics or data members of the object or the behave and the state of an object is represented by this attributes of the object. Now what are the terms related to these classes? Means class is an object factory. Yes, of course class is an object factory. Means first we create a class and then we derive different objects from the class. Class is a user defined data type. Of course class is a user defined data type. So here in this example you can see cust id is of having type int, means integer type. But here you can see manager object is of which type, means employee. So employee name is taken by the user, while this int is predefined inside the Java program. So we can say that class is a user defined data type. Object is an instance of a class. Of course since objects are derived from the class, so it is an instance of a class. So now see the what are the differences between a class and an object. So the class, it is a representation of an abstraction, and object, it is a real and unique entity. So we first try to figure out the object involved in the program, and then we decide the all its characteristics and behaviors inside this class. So we can say object is in real, while its details are present inside this class, so it is an abstract. So class is an object producer, and object is created using new operator. Of course it is known as an object factory. So actually these 2 points are the same, means object producer or object factory. And then the last, it is known as the instance of a class. Of course we know this point. So now I am going to take you uh, uh, to a program I will create right here. So for this I am going to open Notepad here in my computer. Okay, so I am going to make a short program in which I will implement a class and an object, and then I will run the program and show you the result. So first I have to create a class, then I am going to create a class, so public, then class, and then name of the class means I am going to take ix means 9. So this is the name of the class. So this opening and closing curly bracket marks the block of the class. So first I have to mention the characteristics of the object that I will derive from this ix class. So actually I will create a student object. So first ix stu1. So this is the object. So what are the properties or characteristics that can be assigned to a student? So first of all, a student has a name, so string stu name, then int roll. So I'm going to take only these two properties for a student. So after this we have to create a main method so that our program will run properly. For this I have to write public static void main string args, and this is the block of this main method. So don't worry about this program means what these lines I am typing here. So we have to study all these things in more detail in our coming chapters, but I am trying to show you how these things means classes and objects are implemented using Java programming. So now I'm going to enter the value for the student name. So stu name equals to, I'm going to take any random name like Jack, and roll as equals to 1. So these are the two values means here you can see I have taken here two properties of the object, and these are student name and roll, and here you can see I have assigned values to these properties means for student name I have taken Jack and roll as 11, sorry 1. Now I have to create the or complete this whole object declaration. So first I have to take ix stu1 equals to, and then new operator new, and again name of the class is ix and this parenthesis and then semicolon. So I have to write this line inside this main method. Okay, now I can display this system dot out dot println and name of the student dot stu name and again system dot out dot println roll number stu1 dot roll. So here some mistakes are there. stu1 dot stu name equals to jack. Actually I'm going to take or assign these values using the object only. 1 dot roll equals to 1. So I'm going to delete these two lines. Okay, so now it is completed. Now I'm going to save this inside this C drive Java files folder. So the name I am going to give this ix.java. Okay, replace it. Now I have to run this program. So I have to open this cmd means command prompt. So navigating to the Java files folder, cd Java files. Then I have to compile this program. So Java C is the command and the name of the program file is ix.java. Let us see for the errors. Yes, some errors are here. So let us check. Yes, it should be in capital letter. Now again compile. Now one error. So where it is? Okay. So the name of the object is actually stu1, not stu. So stu1. Again save this program. So here I am showing this means to show you how you will get the errors in program while writing or while running your program. Now you can see now there is no error. So run this program. So Java, name of the program file Java ix. Yes, yes, you can see name of the student Jack, roll number 1. So that's all students for this video. Okay, thank you all.